This is a 2026 Chevy Silverado 2500 ZR2, and I finally found one with a new color. I borrowed it from Ken Garff Chevrolet here in American Fork. This truck is available for sale. Be sure to ask for Caden. Let's go ahead and check out the window sticker so you guys see some of the options and features on this build. At the very top is the description. White sands is the color with the jet black and gray stone interior. And then this is a short listing of the standard features. Be sure to pause. Now base price comes in at $73,200, and then this one does have the diesel option, dark essentials package. Also this one does have fifth wheel prep. Now destination is $27.95 for a total price of $87,125. Here's a good question. Will Chevy ever make the ZR2 available in a 1-ton 3500? I don't understand why they never made this truck available only in a 1-ton. Now, most of you guys know that anytime you run bigger tires, you have bigger skid plates, etc., you're always going to reduce the payload capacity. And to be completely honest with you, I have an AT4X. I've taken the truck off-road. It's just too heavy. So why not just make it available in a 1-ton, obviously with a 3/4 ton too? That way people have more payload capacity. But the problem with off-road trucks is manufacturers look at this as a purpose-built truck. So they tend to not want to make it available in a 1-ton because in their minds, it doesn't make sense. But I'm willing to bet you, if Chevy and GMC made it available in the upcoming redesign, I'm willing to bet the 1-ton trucks will outsell the 3/4 tons for sure. And it's simply because people want more payload capacity. Now I will show you guys the yellow sticker and show you what the gross vehicle weight rating is, but regardless of it, what do you guys think of this white sands color? I know that GMC calls it coastal dune, but it's basically essentially the same color. I think it looks perfect with the ZR2 because of all the blackout. You have the black bumpers, you have the black front grille. It just hits perfectly. Now you guys know when you get the diesel, you do get this functional hood scoop. They do black it out as well. Looks super nice, has a Chevy badge there. Premium lights come standard, active grille shutters, red recovery hooks. They still keep the valance on the Chevys. If you get an AT4X, they remove that. Now you can take this off yourself, but some people like the design of it. I think it looks pretty decent too. And this is the main reason why people buy this truck. So you guys see, this does have the Multimatic DSSV, which is dynamic suspension spool valve. So it does have a chamber inside of there for oil. And you guys see independent suspension. GM's been doing that for a long time. Now let's see, I don't know if you guys can see it from this point of view, but if you were to look back here, I haven't really shown this. Right there, that is basically your diff mount. So they do drop the diff for the front suspension simply because this truck does have a 2-inch lift. Now, this is not a true lift. It's basically a leveling system that GM created here, and that's simply because they did not update the frame for this truck. I actually did a 4-inch lift kit on my AT4X from McGoy's, and I highly recommend you look at that system if you do plan on leveling these trucks. You can't do it, obviously, as I said, because this is already a leveling kit, and so the only way you can actually level the truck is by taking out the block out back, which I'll show you here in a second. But you do have a fabric liner here. Here's the tires, which are Goodyear Wrangler Territory MTs, very aggressive tire. And here's the tire size right here, LT 305/70/18. Okay, now these are basically 34.8 inches tall, 12 inches wide, so this is a big tire, and they really give these ZR2s a really nice look too. 8 lug. You guys see here, this is your engine block heater plug, and then here's a side view. Yeah, I really like the design of this truck, guys. It looks super nice. You can see that diff mount right there a little bit better. And unfortunately, GM does not coat those, so if you ever lift your truck, you could have all that metal coated before it starts to rust. You guys also see these do have the wider fender flares, blackout badging, and by the way, they did continue their joint venture with Allison, so you'll start seeing these with the Allison badges in the future. I also have the lights on for the front mirrors, turn signals right here, backup lights right there. These are power folding, power tow mode, you have blind spot alert, top mirror is heated. I like that they do the black door handles too, smart key system. And what I like about the Chevy is if you don't want power deployable running boards, you can get the high clearance steps, which I probably would get if I were getting a Chevy. They do have the largest bed in the segment, 6 foot 10 inches, and you have these steps on the side. Also, 36-gallon fuel tank, 7-gallon DEF. And you guys see right here, do not put DEF in here. And if you do put DEF in there, don't start the truck. All you have to do is get the truck towed into the dealership and they can just empty your fuel tank. Now, I forgot to show you the skid plates up front, so I figured that's worth noting too. So you guys see, you do get a large front skid plate. Gives you a lot of protection, a lot of splash protection too. And they give you an upgraded skid plate for your transfer case. And then out back, you have the full LED tail lights. This one does have the multi-flex tailgate, and camera provisions are right here for your trailer. Class 5 hitch, 2.5 inch. And my favorite thing about these AT4X and ZR2 trucks is they give you a full size matching wheel and tire. You can see the Multimatic out back, 342 rear. This does have an electronic locker versus the automatic one. And as I said, this is how they're able to get that lift on the truck out back. You see that block underneath the leaf spring? So that block is an 1.5 inch block, and that's what's giving this truck the lift. This light shines down for your conventional hitch. Also, stepping into the bed, you have spray in, bed lights, 400 watts of power. Check out my Juggernaut promo code in the description if you want a great solution for tying things down in the bed. Your 4 and 7 pin are there for your fifth wheel prep. This is slightly behind the axle, 2 cameras above. This is bed view. This is for your rearview mirror, power sliding glass with defrost. No sunroof, by the way, clearance lights. Lastly, here's a side view. You can kind of see this color and the shade a little bit better too. What do you guys think? As I've always said, this color would be perfect if it was just 3 shades darker. I think it would be absolute perfect. And then here's a quick peek of those leaves. Let's go ahead and check out what's under the hood. This is the Gen 2 L5P Duramax diesel, 6.6 liter displacement, V8, good for 470 horsepower, 975 pound-feet of torque. All that goes through a 10-speed transmission on this truck because it's not stamped approved, because it doesn't have the badging anymore. But as I said, that's coming back in the trucks that are being built throughout the year. Now, here's what I'll tell you. This truck has the Denso fuel pump and injectors. I watched a video a few days ago and someone was saying that the Denso fuel pump is junk, and that is not true. And I was shocked at who did the video, and I won't mention them in mine. I just was shocked because no, the Duramax diesel probably has the best fuel pump in the segment. Now obviously you guys know lubricity is down in our diesel, so you're gonna have to run an additive because they give us junk to burn in these trucks, simply because, again, we won't talk about it, but regardless of it, I'll do a video on it. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss it. 15W40 oil, you can use a 5W40, and I highly recommend you get the relocate for these sensors, one right here and one right here. These are your manifold absolute pressure sensors. Because of the EGR system, it puts a lot of soot in the intake manifold, so it's just nice to take these out of the stream, and they're just easier to clean over time. Now, if you have a 25 or 26 truck too, Banks is releasing their cold air intake, because if you don't know, right here, your CCV has a sensor now. And now they have a solution to make sure this doesn't throw a check engine light. So be sure to check out my promo code down below for those sensors over there that you can relocate and for the cold air intake. Inside, this truck does have the gray stone interior. I like the lime green stitching that they give you. You also see the graphics. They do a pretty good job overall designing this truck. Seat memories, power folding, and tow mode, as I said. Bose premium sound system, 9-speaker. 10-way driver's seat. They do add a little bit more bolstering, so if you plan on going off-road, these will hug you a little bit better. And that's what I like about the ZR2. They actually give you a off-road themed interior. So it's just something a little different. So if you had a LT, LTZ, or even high country, this might be something to look at because it's just something a little different, right? Out back, you have the seat back pockets, 60/40 bench. This is your block heater plug. And then this is your engine or grill cover. And also a little bit of storage. Outboard heated seats, USBs, air vents, cup holders. On the passenger side, if you step in, by the way, you can see there's a black headliner. I like that. Matches the rest of the interior. Storage. And even though this is considered an off-road truck, they still allow you to carry a bed camper. So 2,317 pounds of capacity. Now remember, that number is for a stock truck. So if you add a bunch of upgrades, like if you want to add the AEB front bumper and all kind of other jazz on this truck, you're going to lower that number. So you have to figure that's with a stock truck. 13.4-inch display. You guys see the center console has open concept right there. Wireless charger. And then deep storage. That's the only 120-volt power plug in the interior. 2 USBs. And then you have 2 more on the side here. Let's go ahead and jump over to the driver's seat. Hopefully you guys see those animations on the screen. Heads-up display is up there. Also, here's your vanity, home link. You can slide that rear glass with power. You have the camera for this guy here. You can turn it off. And just put in reverse. They have some of the clearest cameras. I always mention this. Great camera views there. Also, bed view. You can also zoom in. Exhaust brake. This is your lane keep assist alert, so it's not going to turn the steering wheel. Parking sensors. You can drop the tailgate. Caution lights, traction control. You can drop all the windows down together. This is your electronic locker, and then downhill assist too. You can set the speed for downhill assist, by the way. And in this screen, most people know by now, this is all customizable. And sometimes there's like a little bit of a delay on this side screen here. This is going to be navigation. Man, is this new? I remember this being like a bright chrome in the past. Interesting. Sometimes they change things up over time. I don't remember this being that bright of a chrome. It could be that they ran out of parts, so they had to put this in here. If you go under settings, vehicle. We're going into the springtime now, obviously, but if you want, you can turn on your enhanced heating and just keep it on. That way the engine can heat up a little bit faster. You have comfort and convenience, so you can do the reverse tilt mirror, remote mirror folding, rain sensing wipers are on. You can disable those if you like. And I've been showing this more so just because I found it recently. If you want to put the windows down, it shows it remote door unlock, but hold on, it's right down here, remote window operation. So if you want, if you hold down the unlock button, it will roll the windows down. If I remember, I'll show it to you. I just want to make sure that was on this screen. I would like to see more information, but for the most part, when they do the next generation of these trucks, you're going to see more. Oh look, they actually set the tire pressure correctly. A lot of dealerships don't do this. They'll set it so high, because you can set the tire pressure on this at 65 psi, because that's what the tires are rated for, code. But yeah, let's go ahead and check out the Payload on the side door. Now, as far as the axle ratings go, up front, 5,600 pounds. The rear is 6,600 pounds. Gross vehicle rating is 11,350 pounds. The wheels are 18 by 9 wide. And then you guys see there, payload is 3,067 pounds. They're saying conventional towing is 18.5. Gooseneck is 18.1. Gross combined weight rating is 27.5. Now, most people might say that's more than enough payload for a 3/4 ton, and it is. It's a lot of payload. However, as I said, it would be nice if this had an option for a 3,500, because that number could be closer to like 3,700 pounds. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. This is a really nice spec truck. I think that the new color is starting to grow on me. I think it looks good as is with the black bumpers, everything like that. I love the wheels that they've done on this ZR2. By the way, I didn't show it to you, but you see that right there? They do stamp ZR2 right there. But yeah, be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so yet. Make sure bell notification on. See you guys soon.